Hello. A while back, like a long while, excessively long time ago, I promised that I would do versions of Harry Potter, but very abridged and to the point. And then now I have a lot of free time because I have nothing else to do right now. So I'm gonna start with book 1 and work my way up from there, but not all in one video because it has to be under 5 minutes because that's the limit I'm giving myself. And I tried to find my damn witch hat and couldn't. So, but yeah, so book 1, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or I guess Philosopher's Stone for like most people, but we got Sorcerers, so that's just what I'm gonna go with. And I wrote some notes, but they probably won't help. I haven't read this one in a while. Sorry. But okay, so anyway, book starts off, Harry's chilling with the Dursleys, and they're not being very nice to him, and he's like living under the stairs, and he's all sad, and he's like, like, sucks. It sucks. So then there's like a flashback, and it's like, da 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 da, and goes back, and Harry's a baby, and he's hanging with his family, and then Voldemort comes up, and he's like, you know what, I'm probably gonna have to kill you guys. And he kills the dad, and then the mom's like, I really don't think this is necessary. But he's like, I kind of do. And so he's like, kill, because he's trying to kill Harry. And then she's like, save. And then Voldemort is thwarted by love. And he's like, what? Like, the fuck? The fuck is this? But so Harry's still alive, his mom's dead, which is like a bummer, but then Dumbledore comes and he's like, you know what, Harry, let's bring you to a safe place. So he brings him to the Dursleys because they're related. But the Dursleys aren't like big fans because of this whole family drama that goes like way back. So not really friendly. So in the next chapter, the Dursleys are all like, you know what, fuck it, Harry, let's go to the zoo. So they all go to the zoo. Harry's older by now, it's back to normal time, and he's like looking around, and they look at this boa constrictor, and he's like, you know what, Harry, like, what's up, you know, let's talk, let's hiss at each other. And Harry's like, okay, you know what, fuck it, like, let's hiss. But he doesn't realize that he's hissing, because he doesn't like know what's up with that yet. So they're like hissing and they're talking, and then Harry's like, you know what, why is this glass even here? Like, there's no point to this glass being here. So he gets rid of it unconsciously, and the snake's like, thanks, like, that was awesome, now I'm gonna go home. And he's like, yeah, no, it's no problem at all. But the Dursleys are like, fuck that shit, like, no magic up in this house. So they take him home, and then they're like getting all these owls, and these owls are just like coming into the house like nobody's business, like owls out the ass. And they're like, we're not about to have any owls in this house. So they go to vacation on a rock in the middle of the ocean. It's just beyond me. I don't even know how they found that. Maybe like Craigslist. And then, so they're all hanging out there, and then Harry's like, oh man, like, it's my birthday and no one even cares. And then Hagrid, like, busts through the, like, happy birthday, I have a cake for you. Also, you're a wizard. Let's go to Hogwarts. And Harry's like, okay, that makes sense. So they go, and they go to Diagon Alley, and they go shopping with, like, gold they got from Gringotts, like hells of gold, and they buy a wand, and, like, robes and books and shit. And Harry's like, you know, I can get used to this. I am down with this. So they get on the train after that. They get on the train to go to school, and he meets Ron, who's like, hey, you know, let's just be best friends. And then they eat some chocolate frogs. And then Hermione comes in, she's like, oh my god, I'm anal retentive. And they're like, okay, well, you know, you can be friends with us too. And then they get off the train, and Malfoy, who's like bad, comes up and he's like, you shouldn't be hanging out with these guys. Like, you should be hanging out with me. And Harry's like, I don't know about that. So then he doesn't. He's not friends with him for like a really long time. And then they all get sorted with the hat, and the hat's like, you should be in Slytherin, Harry. And Harry's like, you know what, fuck that. I don't want to be in Slytherin. So he's in Gryffindor then. The hat's like, fine, you know, like, whatever, just quit bitching at me. I'll put you in Gryffindor. And he's like, thank you for that. So he's in Gryffindor. They get into some wizardy antics at school. They're like transfiguring shit, making potions with Snape, who doesn't like Harry for reasons. There are reasons. And then what happens after that? Malfoy takes something from Neville. Oh, he takes his Remembrall, and he's like, stop! And then Harry's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna fly up and get it from you. So he flies up on his room and he takes it, and then like, you should play Quidditch. He's like, well, you know what, why don't I? So he does. Malfoy's like, the fuck is that? Like, I've been flying forever, and it's not fair. Shit happens. Eventually, Ron, Harry, and Hermione figure out that, like, Voldemort is up in their business at the school. They're like, oh my god, like, what's even happening? And they're pretty sure that Snape is evil, so they're, like, following him around, and they're, like, watching Snape, and then... So basically, the video stopped, like, halfway through. And I don't remember where I think I stopped at them following Snape. So anyway, they follow Snape through a door. And they're like, fucking shit, man, like, there's this three-headed dog. Fluffy. But it's already asleep, so they're like, oh my god, like, thank god, like, that's a good thing that happened like that. So then they go into the passage, and there's this plant there, and they all fall into this plant, and Ron's like flipping his shit because he does not like this plant. And Hermione's like, just chill, like, just relax, it's okay, like, this plant's totally gonna drop us. And it does, except for Ron, because Ron's like squirming and doing all this shit, and she's like, seriously, Ron, like, what are you doing? So she lights a fire. It's really, oh, that's hot. I'm gonna take off this nightie. Fuck, Miles, it is hot. Okay, so she, like, suns it up in the room. Like, she brings in the sunlight, and the plant's like, ah, fuck, like, I'm really, like, I'm not into that. I'm not into that sun shit. So it drops everyone. They're like, oh, yay, it's so exciting that we're dropped. Then they go through a room with all these keys with wings, and they have to catch this key, and they do, but the key's like, my wing's already broken, like, why are you doing this to me? But they do, because they need to get through, so they do, they grab the key, and they put it in the hole, and they open the door. Oh, chess, wizard chess. They have to go play chess, and Ron's like, don't even fucking worry, because I play chess 24/7, and I've got this, so, like, it's not even a problem. And it's not, because they win, but Ron's unconscious. They're like, fuck. But Harry and Hermione, they keep going, because it's important, and then they find this room full of potions, and one of them is, like, deadly, and one of them is good, or something. I can't remember. It's been a really long time since I read that part. And then they do it correctly, because Hermione's like, don't worry, I'm fucking smart, so it's not even a problem for me. So Harry goes on, and Hermione, like, doesn't. And then Harry walks into the room, and he's like, what the fuck, Quirrell is in here? Like, this doesn't even make any sense to me. And he's looking into the mirror, and he's like, wow, like, I totally want the Sorcerer's Stone, and I can see myself with it, but I totally can't even get it. Like, how does this work? And then Voldemort's like, I'm in the back of your head. Let me out. So he unwraps his turban, and Voldemort's like, I'm in your head. And Harry's like, what the fuck is this? And they, like, use Harry to get the stone out of the mirror. And Harry's like, fuck, man, like, I don't want to be used. But he gets used, and he gets the stone. And then Voldemort's like, take the fucking stone from Harry. So Quirrell tries, and he's like, oh, I can't even touch his skin, like, because my skin is, like, hurting from that. And so they're fighting, and Quirrell's like, fuck, I'm falling apart, and Voldemort's like, I don't even care, like, get the stone. Then Harry's unconscious. Then he wakes up, and Voldemort's like, gone, and so is Quirrell because Quirrell's like gone as well. And then Dumbledore's like, you did a really good job. You guys did great. You get points for Gryffindor. And they're like, yeah, we got the bomb. And then everyone's pretty chill and not super worried about Voldemort because they all think that he's gone for the time being, which he is until the next book when he comes back. And that's book 1 of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Fuck. I skipped most of the book.